Okay, in this tutorial, we're going to make a chunky knit emotional support pickle. For this tutorial, we'll be using 1 skein of chunky yarn. This will actually get us about 3 pickles. I have about 2 yards of this black velvety yarn. I think it's like a size 6. And then I have about 2 feet of this white. These are for the eyes. You're going to need scissors, an embroidery needle, and some polyfill. Probably a lot less than this. So let's get started. So with our chunky yarn, we're going to leave about a 6 to 8 inch tail. The end is the tail. This part that's attached to the skein is our working yarn. We're going to make a loop with our working yarn over our tail, and we're going to pull our working yarn through the hole, and then we could pull on the tail to adjust the size of the loop. So we're going to make a chain of about 8 stitches. They're going to be about 2 finger widths wide. So to make the chain, we just put our fingers through the loop, pull out the yarn so that we have again 2 fingers wide. That's our second stitch, and third, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We want to make them as uniformly as we can as possible. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make this into a circle like this, and we're going to take our tail and put it at the base of this last stitch. This last stitch is going to be the first stitch in our first row. So that's 1, and we're going to knit through 6 more times. And we're just going to go through the tops of the chain. So that was 1. I'm going to pull the yarn from the back to the front. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, we're doing 7. I forgot about that. Doing 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. And what we're going to do. Okay, so we have our 7 stitches. That is row 1, and we're going to continue to pull the yarn from the back to the front until we've reached 70. So this is my second row. I just did 14, and I will be back when I get to 70. Okay, so I just did 70. Now, if you want your pickle to be taller, you can keep on knitting, but this is a nice size pickle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a 6 to 8 inch tail and remove our yarn. And what we're going to do is close off this bottom. So we're going to take our tail and we're going to weave from the inside to the outside, and you could go through each stitch or you could go through every other stitch. When it comes to this chain, you don't need to get into every stitch. Sometimes that makes it harder. So I'm going to go into, I'll go into every one. But if you have a lot to go through, let's say you did 14, try going through every other one, because sometimes it gets hard to pull through and then you break your yarn. So I'm going to go through every one from the inside to the outside, and this is just closing up the bottom of our pickle. And when I've gone through all, I'm going to go through one more, and I'm going to tie a knot. I'm going to secure it to one of the stitches, and I'm going to try to find the center and poke this through the center stitch. Now, if you have chopsticks, you can use that. Here's my pickle. I'm going to add my polyfill. Don't overstuff it, otherwise you see the polyfill come through. Just enough to stuff. Now, if you're going to use safety eyes, I suggest putting in the safety eyes before you stuff it, but I'm going to embroider the eyes and the mouth on, so I'm going to stuff it first. So it is stuffed. Now we're just going to take our working yarn, or tail from the working yarn, sorry, and we're going to go through each of these open loops from the inside to the outside, making sure not to pull this stitch out. So sometimes I put my finger in there. I just go through each and I pull a little snug as I go. This closes up our pickle. Pickle is a great beginner project. Get the satisfaction of being done very fast. I'm just going to go through one more loop like we did on the bottom. I'm going to secure it with a knot and poke it through the middle. So with the tail, you just want to make sure that you don't make it so short that you can't go through all the loops and attach it and all that stuff. So it's better to be longer than shorter. So here is my pickle. Now we're going to start putting in the face. So I'm going to take my yarn, my embroidery yarn, and my needle. I don't need my scissors anymore. To thread the needle, I fold the yarn in half and I push it through, pull it out, and I'm going to put my eyes about here and here. So I'm going to go in the middle, not where the eyes are, and I'm going to come out where I want the top of the eye to be, and I'm just going to leave enough of a tail to tie it at the end. And I want to go at least 2-3 stitches down so I have nice big eyes, and pull my yarn from the bottom back up to the top. And I'm going to do this as many times as I need to make it look the way I want it to look. So I'm probably going to go 5 or 6 times, but this is totally up to you. I used to use safety eyes, but then you have the fear of kids choking on them. And I just really, really like the way that embroidery eyes look. Gives it a new character. I think that was 4. Now for my 5th one, I'm going to go down in the middle, sorry, down the bottom, and I'm going to come out through the other eye because I'm going to continue doing the face in one shot if I can. And I want to go down as low as I did on the other eye. One, 2, 3, 4. Now for the 5th one, let me just count how many I have on this side. Yeah, I have 5 on that side. For the 5th one, I'm not going to come out the top. I'm going to come out on the side of the mouth. I'm going to work on the mouth next. Here are my eyes. I'm going to go on the same side, the same distance apart for the mouth on the other side, but I'm going to come out through the bottom of the mouth. Okay. I think I made his mouth a little too big. That's okay. He has character. I'm going to go in through the hole I just came out of, and I'm going to come out of the hole that my initial tail is in. So now grab my scissors, cut my yarn. This is what I have left, so I probably could have went with like 5 feet, but it's better to have too much than not enough. And I'm just going to tie my 2 tails together. So again, the eyes and the mouth are completely up to you, however you want to make them, how big, how small. Just tuck that in. And now we're going to do the whites of the eyes. So there's our little pickle guy. and I usually put tags on it that emotional support tags. Now for the eyes, I'm going to go through about the same spot, come out the top of the eye, make a little tail, and for the whites, I'm going to do it about 2 times on each eye, 2 stitches. So see how it's so much character so quickly with the little white. So now when I go back in, I'm going to come out through the other eye. Look at that, so cute. Now through the bottom and out through the top. And these needles, they're pretty inexpensive. I get them on Amazon. I think it's like 69 cents or $1 for 2. And I stock up because you know you'll lose them or a break. Now for the second white stitch, I'm going to go in through the bottom and out where the initial tail came out of. So I just got to feel around. Comes out the same hole. Cut it. Tie it. Tuck it away. Again, if you have chopsticks, you can use chopsticks. Or if you bought a small bag of polyfill, sometimes those come with a stick and you can use that stick. So here is my cute little pickle. And I hope you've enjoyed this little tutorial.